Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. I am here today with my third video for the day, my second TV book review today, alongside another one I did, and the Goosebumps, Give Yourself Goosebumps cover ranking for the worst to best of those. So I've got a lot done today. I've been really busy, had some things I had to help my grandfather with this morning, and then I had all this stuff I wanted to record. I got all that done. It has been a busy day. I have some cleaning I have to wrap up before I go to work, and then my week is pretty much complete aside from work, for 2 more days. But anyway, it's been kind of a busy day, so I have gotten a lot done, frankly. I'm kind of surprised. I'm hoping I can get all these videos uploaded before I go to work. I think I will be able to, but we'll see. I also have to make lunch and so on and so on. It's going to be a little hectic after I finish up this video, but I have time. Most of uploading videos is just putting something up and waiting for it to upload. Anyway, here I am with another TV book review. I'm trying to get some of these out of the way. The TV book series might be my least favorite, possibly. I'm not assuring you this, but it might be my least favorite of the Goosebumps eras or Goosebumps series mixed in with all these different things that came out in the 90s and the early 2000s and whatever. The TV books really don't shine that well. The actual series name is Goosebumps Presents TV Book. This one happens to be a review for number 7, The Headless Ghost. This one is an ugly cover, number 1. Probably the worst one out of all the TV book covers. When I rank those one day, we'll talk about them. I only have about 6 more of these to review, but I have some Series 2000 books and stuff I want to review too before I really wrap this up. But I am kind of throwing these in every few books I read, just to try to get them wrapped up and done. These are about 60 pages long. In case you don't know what they are basically novelizations of the scripts that are adapted for the old TV show from the original R.L. Stine books. So I'll read off everybody who's involved here. This is not written by R.L. Stine, just in case you don't happen to know. This is adapted by Carol Ellis, who did a lot of these TV books, from the teleplay by Billy Brown and Dan Angel. Of course, we all know who they are. Based on the novel by R.L. Stine. Yes, Mr. Stine himself. But Carol Ellis actually wrote this. For about a 60-page book, it's pretty decent. I like it better than the previous one I just reviewed, which is Be Careful What You Wish For, which is not the most engaging story ever, not the most original story ever. It's been done a billion times over, especially in children's media, but The Headless Ghost has not. What is the execution of this? Well, I think I like the original book more. I think I said that when I watched the actual TV episode and reviewed that for the channel too. I have reviews for both, just in case you're curious and want to go see my opinion on those. I think the original book is better than this. But this being a novelization of the TV show episode, it's pretty decent. I kind of like it a little bit better than I remember liking the episode, even though the episode wasn't completely horrible by any means. This one just feels like Stine. It feels more Steinish, even though he didn't write it, compared to the actual episode, even though the TV show did a very good job of being very Stine-like in the way it's written, the way it feels in tone. And that lower budget really helped that, surprisingly enough. Anyway, the TV book for The Headless Ghost, this is not the most engaging read ever. It gets a little goofy and silly, just like the episode did as an adaptation by the end of it, and I kind of don't like that about it. But what's the actual story here? Well, basically you have a guy and a girl who are friends. They're called the Terror Twins, or Twin Terrors. It's one of the two, I can't remember, but either way, they're called the Terror Twins or the Twin Terrors or something like that because they go to this place called the Hill House. It's a haunted house, supposedly, that's kind of a tourist attraction type of thing. Yes, I said Hill House, like The Haunting of Hill House with Vincent Price, one of my favorite horror films of all time. An absolute classic. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. It's really good. Anyway, they go to the Hill House to just experience the tour pretty much every single day. They go there so often. They love this tour. It's delivered by a man named Otto, who I remember in the book, them and Otto, like the two kids and Otto, being kind of friends or being on a friendly basis, even though the kids would sneak in and pull these pranks on other tourists and whatever, particularly kids. In the book and in the TV episode, or in the TV book and in the episode, they're kind of at odds with Otto. Otto at one point actually kicks them out a couple of times and tells them they're not welcome back and whatever. And they always sneak back in somehow. They're kind of, our main character kid is not as bad as his friend. The friend that's a girl is really bad about pulling pranks, just being kind of mean-spirited in general. But anyway, they're kind of curious about this urban legend about back in the day, which we have a prologue in this book too, kind of focused on this, just like in the episode, about a kid who went messing around with spirits in this house, who used to live there, named Andrew. And Andrew apparently had a spirit come up to him and pull his head off and he's been looking for his head ever since. Apparently, I believe they said every single night he comes out at a certain time looking around the house for his missing head. And that's kind of spooky. As an urban legend enthusiast, that's kind of spooky. I really like that urban legend. I like the execution of it. I like some of the things surrounding it, but not everything. Mainly because you get into the actual story here, and the further you get in to the Hill House itself, and exploring the territories and the rooms and stuff that are not on the tour, typically, it kind of falls apart a little bit. It gets, again, too silly, too goofy for me, for my tastes, and it kind of ruins the story. I understand they had to have some episodes of the show be a little bit more lighthearted than a lot of the episodes like Night of the Living Dummy 3 or Bride of the Living Dummy or something like that. They had to have some goofier episodes like My Hairiest Adventure and whatever to really balance it out, I assume, with Fox Kids Network, but also have something that was easily manageable for the budget. Kids seemed to love all of it regardless, so it didn't really matter. It worked out for them. The books sold, the TV show was watched. A lot of people were paying attention to Goosebumps back in the day. But some of the compromises made it for this book and for this adaptation in total, not just the TV book, but the episode itself, based on that original book. They seem to have compromised so much that I think they kind of ruined the momentum and the excitement behind that original book in a lot of ways. It's not an amazing original book, but it's pretty decent for what it was. I liked it. Or at least parts of it, at least I remember liking quite a bit. A lot of that one kind of went out my head. You know, as soon as I finished it, it kind of just slowly started to delete itself. A lot of the books I've read recently have done that to me, so, oh well. But there's not really much more to say about the book. I wish it stayed more to the straight and serious path. For the most part, it kind of does. It just has too much silliness in there that kind of spoils it just a little bit for me. Now, one of the other things I do want to talk about, too, we do have some colorized photos in here from the show. They're basically just still photos put in the book. A lot of the time you have the trouble of these spoiling everything in the story, even including, a lot of the time, the ending. And this one did not, surprisingly enough, which is a good thing. I'm glad about that. A lot of the time, they ruin it. By the time they show you the photos and they have the writing underneath the photos, and a lot of time the photos themselves are pretty blurry. There's a couple on here that are kind of blurry. These might even look blurry to you, but I promise they're not. Not in real life, at least. They're pretty detailed for what they are. But as you can see, they have the writing here. A lot of the time, these I keep saying GYG books. I just finished the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. Excuse me for that. The TV books, a lot of the time, have the potential to spoil you halfway through the book before you even get to the big events. This one doesn't do that. That's nice. I like that. The photos, for the most part, look good. A lot of them are just this painting of the headless boy over and over again. And that picture to me, this cover with that picture still from the show, is so lackluster. That painting doesn't look that great, in my opinion, in the show, in real life, whatever. It's kind of a letdown. So the cover itself is kind of a letdown. Some of the photos are. There's a lot of focus on that painting in the actual episode when you watch it. So, and it's kind of whatever. I did like this more than Be Careful What You Wish For. I think I kind of like it more than the Mummy episode as well, the TV book for that. So eventually I'll rank these stories, you know, from the TV book series, worst to best, and the covers, like I said, at some point. We'll get there eventually. Anyway, when it comes to Goosebumps Presents TV book number 7, The Headless Ghost, from Carol Ellis. I like the way it's written. It feels like R.L. Stine. Carol Ellis has always done a very good job with that when I've read her stuff from these TV books, and I give her a commend for that. Really good job. Anyway, the actual book itself, the story itself, is not really in her control. It's an adaptation, direct novelization of that script for the show, and it's not great. It's not great. It's not really wonderful or anything, but it's surprisingly decent. You know, surprisingly decent. It's just a little too silly, as I've said over and over again. Anyway, it's better than Be Careful What You Wish For, like I said. Anyway, if I had to rate this book on a 5-star basis, I'd give it like a 3 out of 5 stars. These TV books are pretty consistent about getting about a... My mouth is not wanting to work today. I've done so much talking. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. These books are pretty consistent about getting a 3 out of 5 stars from me. That's pretty nice, but they're never really memorable. They're never really anything that means so much to me in the grand scheme of Goosebumps things. Anyway, 3 out of 5 stars for me. What do you think about the TV books? What do you think about the Headless Ghost TV book, the episode, the original book? I'd love to hear all your thoughts down in the comment section down below, folks. And thank you for watching. God bless you all. And tune in for some more reviews. I'm going to start stepping back into some Series 2000 for a couple of reviews. Maybe for the next couple of days, and maybe next week go back to some TV books and, you know, Series 2000, kind of balance them out, whatever. We will see what happens. But anyway, I'm going to have some Series 2000 reviews for you the next couple of days until the weekend, and then I'm going to take a break. Anyway, I hope you'll enjoy that. I hope you'll tune in for that. I have 5 more Series 2000 books left after just finishing up the GYG series. We're gonna start doing a whole bunch of ranking videos for the Series 2000 when that's done. The covers, the books themselves, and it's coming soon. Like next week, we're gonna be done probably with that. So by next weekend, you might start seeing Series 2000 ranking videos if I have the time to do them during the week. Anyway, hopefully you'll tune in for that. Hopefully you'll subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you all again, and goodbye.